So I wanted to show you all the new tech that I'm interested in, and then I wanted to maybe do some like Smash Bros and just like get some adrenaline pumping in here, chat. And then we're going to, you know, just enjoy ourselves, have a good conversation. If you guys enjoy this tech that I'm about to talk about, we'll have like good discussions about that. But overall, we're going to do that. And then, yeah, we'll see what happens after that. I can't wait after how well this last video performed to just fall off, bro. It's going to be sick. Okay, so this is a company known as Light. I believe that's what they go by. So yeah, Light is the name of the company. They offer a couple of different things. So like the Light Flip is like their big piece, right? We'll do a better color because why would you use the same color as the color of the device? That some UI person, like this is fine because this is like a light, very beige pink on the very bright pastel pink. Black on black, crazy. This is a little bit better. It's a darker blue on the actual kind of cyan blue. This is terrible. I hate this. This is bad. This is a little bit more pungent, but yellow is just like really fucking hard to see sometimes for certain people. This is fine. Design-wise aside, awful. But I was listening to the Waveform podcast the other day, and they were talking about this phone and like the usefulness of it comparatively to a like actual flip phone versus getting a smartphone that you can put a launcher on and just like do infinitely more things, have better services and things like that than what this guy will offer. So like this worries, the worry for this, right, is how much does it cost versus, and we see it's $300 for pre-order, right? And this is also in respect to Light Phone 3, which is another thing that they produce, which is essentially just like big, powerful Android phone, a little bit more smartphone centric, right? You're going to get the touchpad and the touch typing versus like the T9 typing that you would get on the flip phone. Where'd that go? Yeah. So like you're stuck to T9 typing, which I don't know if any of you have had to do T9 typing before. Shit sucks. Never been a fan of that. I'm glad we have virtual keyboards now. This is worse. That's why fucking Nokia and oh god, BlackBerry were like so revolutionary because they had like a legitimate keyboard, individual buttons for each thing. It was massive. So these were like super huge for the time, but it's like it's the same principle as what a lot of people have been talking about and just like pulling themselves back from having a big social media presence and like being online all the time and reducing screen time and things like that. And there are a lot of things nowadays, and like this thing will have like navigation, calendar, phone, alarm, music, podcast. Like it has all the things that you could like want as like a single person. Like a single, not like in a relationship. Single is like just individual person, every single day. But for somebody like me, who's constantly using their phone for work, they're constantly using their phone to do a whole bunch of other stuff. I mean, I plug my damn phone into a display all the time and like use it as an actual computer in some instances. And so like you have these moments where it's like, okay, I'm trying this, I'm trying that. I realize I don't have my phone on me right now, which is giving me anxiety, which is probably not a good thing. But this thing is supposed to act as like the art of the dumb phone, right? And I still stand in solidarity that I don't know that this solves anything, and you're really just restricting your ability to use certain features when you need them, right? Because there are going to be times where you need, let's say you live in New York, the MTV app, or sorry, the God, what is their transit service called? Whatever, you need like something to get on the bus, or you need an app to pay for food or things like that, like NFC features, being able to like look something up really quick if you're like unsure about something and need more assistance. Like all of these things, like yes, you could call the non-emergency hotline. Do you remember what that number is? You could call 911. Like you can have like a good chunk of different features and things like that with a light phone, but I feel like you lose what we've been conditioned to use a lot in the recent years and the convenience of a lot of those features. There is a thing to be said about like losing social media and having like different lifestyle changes that make your life a little bit better. And I think most of those are good things. Like I am not on social media minus obviously this platform to like live stream and make videos and be a little bit creative, right? Aside from that, I don't have social media. I don't have a Facebook. I don't have an Instagram. I don't have an X, Blue Sky, any of that stuff. I had a Reddit for a little bit, deleted that. Like I have removed myself entirely from social media except for this space, and it has made my life better. I will say there are times where I look at my phone and I was like, man, I wish I could have something to just kind of mindlessly scroll right now. I just need to like escape. But I realize, okay, why do I want to escape? What do I need to work on? That kind of thing. And I reorganize my life that way. And I feel like the conscious effort to change that piece about your life doesn't necessarily need to be the piece of technology. Yeah, you could make more barriers to entry and things like that. I think taking the step to like pull all of the things that you want off of your Facebook, Instagram, like I had to do a huge photo dump off of Facebook, off of Instagram, off of all that stuff to get the things that I wanted that I've posted over the time. And I want to keep those things. Those are memories. Those are nice things to have. I did a big photo dump. That was a big barrier to entry. But once I deleted everything, like I don't have a desire to like go open a Facebook account tomorrow. I don't have a desire to start an Instagram or a Twitter or whatever. And I think in the same way, like the light phone is just trying to put that hardware limitation in front of you, right? To get you to, change that idea. It's not as helpful as a lot of people think it is. And I think a lot of these are starting to pop up, right? You have the Light Flip, you have the Light Phone 3. Like a lot of these things are starting to pop up for pretty kind of fucking outrageous prices. The Light 2 was $300. This made a lot of sense to me. It was a shitty screen, but like it was meant to be a dumb phone, Whereas this is trying to be a smartphone. This is actually like trying to fill in the gap of being your daily driver. And $900 for a phone that doesn't do a whole lot. And that's like the whole point. And do you want to pay $900 when you could pay $400 and get a launcher? Like there are a lot of different launchers. Like let's just look up a minimal launcher. So like this guy is just like the Niagara launcher, right? So this is something you can install on your Android phone. It's a very lightweight launcher that you could run on most Android devices. And it allows you to be able to like actually do exactly what I was just talking about. Being able to turn it into a very simple device. You get a stream of apps. You're not constantly being pinged and notified and all that kind of stuff. Very simple notification algorithms and things like that. Not algorithms, but like very simple notifications to like not be hyper intrusive. And it's just out of your way. And yes, there are like a whole bunch of things. You can get the Niagara free and get 90% of what I'm talking about here. It's a small team of developers. They're doing a lot of cool stuff, and I think they fit the bill for doing exactly what you want. So you get the premium hardware. You can get to those features if you absolutely need them, but it puts a small software barrier to entry in front of you so that you don't actually choose that. And I feel like that's a little bit better than what Lightphone is trying to accomplish. Right? They're trying to put like a hardware and a software limitation in front of you. And I think that's just too restrictive, too fast, which will make you relapse quicker. And I feel like a Niagara launcher is a conditioning that you can give yourself early to make it a little bit easier. And so like, I think like Light Phone is cool. Like I want to hold that phone. I like the hardware aesthetic of it. It's the same reason that I want an Apple product, right? I like the hardware aesthetic of this device. I don't know that it would actually suit any of the needs of like what I actually use on a daily basis, right? I don't know that this brick would give me everything that I want it to do. And I would just find it more inconvenient and hate my phone, which like theoretically you could say is the point, but I feel like I would just hate using my phone and relapse quicker unless I was using something like a Niagara, where I did have access to certain things. I pin like 3 or 4 apps that I know I need all the time and call that a day. And I just feel like that solves the problem a little bit easier. That's my opinion. I don't know what you guys really think about it, but I think I'm kind of over the idea of having a hardware and software limitation at the same time, because I just think you introduce more opportunity to relapse. Now, let's talk about a phone that is going to make me a problematic fiend. And that is the Galaxy Z Fold 8. I looked at this thing and I was like, okay, I didn't really think about it much. Because I was like, okay, they're competing with what the theoretical Apple Fold is going to look like. And that's cool. And that's neat. And then I looked at it a little harder. And I was like, what did I hate about the Z Fold Ultra? What did I hate about the original Z Fold and why did I not like it? Well, The problem I have with my current phone, oh, I do have my phone in my pocket. It was just weirdly smushed, is how tall it takes my thumb. Hold on, let me see if I can. Wow. How much it takes my thumb to get to the top left corner of my phone. I hate that. I can't stand that. What does this solve? Exactly that problem. And gives me all the utility. And gives me all the utility of a folding device. And still is a very form-fittable pocketable device. And it's just sick. Still Samsung reliability, still heavy, powerful individual device. So, you know, it's still a 5.5 inch display, but that's a 5.5 inch display down from my 6.7 inch display. It's a 7.6 inch for when I want to watch media, which, fun fact, I watch a lot of. Really powerful performance. It's sitting on, I believe, yeah, it's the Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5, so it's still massively powerful. The two rear cameras are 50 megapixel, folding form factor, shaped for content, bright display, steady shot with video. Like, all of these things make me very excited about this product. And so, like, I look at this and I say, this kind of is actually the first time. It's funny because, like, that's exactly what Apple is going to do when they release theirs, right? They're going to be like, this is the proper form factor for folding phones. This is what we've been thinking about our entire life. Samsung just got there first. And I think, obviously, there are some things, like, over time that, like, folding devices just, you know, they are more prone to break. They can't possibly be, like, the most durable, which I worry about. But then I see Dbrand post their new flip case, and I am a firm user of the grip case. I like their cases a lot. Why are you being this way? Just show me the damn flip case, please. I want the grip. Give me the grip. And then I look at the case, and I'm like, wow. This does everything that I need it to do. It protects the hinge. It protects the outside. It gives me the ridged edge. And it gives me all of the things that I could ever want out of a case. Doesn't really destroy the footprint at all. And it does everything I need it to do. It's still relatively the same price as all their other cases. This phone is perfect size. The only thing I will say is $1,900 for a phone is insane. It's just insane. And my question to myself is this all worth it when to solve the problem? I just get the OG phone. I just stopped buying the Ultra. I still get all of the hardware spec bumps. And I have, what is it, a 6.1 inch display, 6.3 inch? So I save myself 4 inches. I get a little bit further up with my thumb, and we call it a day. Let me look at... I want you to do the one that I selected the first time. I don't know why you would hate me in this way. Yeah, so it's a 6.3 inch display. And so I feel like this does all of the things that I want it to do, right? So 50 megapixel, 12 megapixel, 10 megapixel, 12 megapixel front camera. Like, the only thing I would say I'm losing, right, from the Ultra camera is the 50 megapixels across the board. But I don't ever use the 50 megapixel feature anyway. I'm constantly using the 12 megapixel sensor on here anyway, or 12 megapixel setting on here anyway, which I understand is a 50 megapixel bin down to 12. But still. So, you know, I think overall, I think there are just options that it just, again, it's one of those things where it's like, I see where they're coming from. The big thing that I need, I love this form factor. It's really enticing to me. And if I had like infinite cash, I would have this phone in my hand. But I think a couple more iterations and this price coming down to like what the Ultra costs, and I could be very enticed. And I'm wondering if this is just like kind of overpriced because of RAM prices and things like that. But then I look at like the Fold 8 Ultra and it's like $2,100. We're finally like cresting $2,000 for a phone. But like, you made the Z Flip 8 for $1,200. Why is this $1,900? What is so way more different. And I know this is a first gen product, so it's going to be a little bit more expensive. But this guy didn't need to be $2,100. Like, what was the last gen Fold series? Anyway, very excited about this phone. I watched a couple of like first looks. I'm very curious to what the reviews look like. This phone's very enticing to me. So very excited to see what that is. And then, of course, my favorite company on the planet right now, and I don't think it's really even close, is Framework. And I think that it's because their mission is so fantastic. What they're attempting to do, the type of compute that you're trying to deliver to the masses, the type of product that they're trying to deliver, the statement that they're trying to make, all of these things matter when building a laptop and when building any piece of computing hardware. And I just feel like they do it the best. What we're looking at here is the Laptop 13 Pro. Framework 13 Pro is going to be a game changer. This is an anodized aluminum build, so it's very similar to a MacBook in build quality. It's not perfect. It's not one unibody piece of aluminum. It is multiple pieces of aluminum strung together, but it is the most rigid and durable framework ever built. Has very good system compatibility with Linux, Windows, and it uses a new type of module for memory that is a little bit cheaper and more efficient than DDR5, which allows you to actually purchase one at a reasonable price. And being able to put Ubuntu on this thing, have a keyboard and a couple of expansion cards, let's just say quick select, right? And we get all USB-C because that's what we get nowadays. You're looking all in at $1,611. For ports that you get to select yourself, Ubuntu fully supported on a laptop, the newest gen Intel Core mobile processors, a different type of memory spec that, yes, is a little bit unique right now, but allows you to have lower memory prices in a memory strapped market, in a unibody chassis that is fully upgradable and fully supported. You can still put the original Framework 13 laptop components in this chassis with a little bit of manipulation, and it still works and it still functions. And all of these things are cross-compatible. Drivers are fully supported. Their driver utility, I watched a video on it the other day. It runs an executable that installs every single driver for you that they store locally. Host themselves, they ping that server, pull it down, install it all with a bunch of PowerShell scripts or a bunch of terminal scripts, and that's it. And that's all you have to do. And that's the whole shindig. That's fantastic. That's like S-tier performance when it comes to software development and thoughtfulness when building an ecosystem in a device. I'm very excited for what this laptop has to offer, what people are saying about it, what Framework stands for. I'm just very excited about this product in general. I will say, if you guys donate to me, this is going to be the first thing that I save up for. It's sitting in the cart ready to go right now. So those are the things in tech that I'm very excited about, Chad. I'm not going to lie. They're very, very good. Love them a lot. And I'm very excited about it. Like, there are a lot of really interesting things happening in tech that I think are going to make for really good videos, content, and just like collaborative efforts in tech going forward. And I'm very excited to see what that looks like. So yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments of this VOD down below, because there ain't nobody here watching this damn stream.